Let's look at Litecoin. So first off, read this disclaimer carefully. Then do your good deed of the day by liking and commenting. So here is the long-term chart for Litecoin. Let's go to the weeklies. It's currently on a bit of an uptrend. We have seen these patterns repeat. Let me just draw that in. Major time cycle, smaller time cycle, the big time cycle, smaller. So this could be similar to this based on the few patterns we have here. If you look back here, we did see that clearing the red 200-week moving average was a clean procedure. That is not the case now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 5 attempts to clear that resistance level. So the current smaller time cycle is weaker than what we have seen before. Also, this major breakout here was also very clean. One candlestick boom and off to the races we go. So the bulls, they have an opportunity, but a bit cautious at the moment. We are at 20-week PPO, no, moving average support, but the 200-week is really resistance. On the dailies, then we do have resistance from the blue 100-day moving average, and it is a bit stubborn. It really is, though. So that is a bit concerning. It is nice to see that the bulls are continuing to attempt, but you can't just attempt. You need to also sort of like do it. Okay. Now looking at MACD is sending a bit of a sell signal here on the weeklies. RSI not in like danger zone yet. I mean, we have been much higher in the past. Okay, let me just modify the RSI a bit. Okay, like that. On the dailies, I do like accumulation distribution going up. It shows us that there is buyers flowing in to Litecoin. There's something here that could become bullish. Yeah, but the context is resistance here on the dailies. So the signals are mixed. 20 VMA resistance. No, support. And 100 DMA resistance. Maybe I give the bulls a 1. Okay, so let's look at the seasonality here. To the left, we do see that over the last 5 years in green, 7 years in blue, and 10 years in red, we usually see some weakness, though, into mid-June. Looking at April, it usually is a very green month, but this time it was a little bit green, but yeah, it was a mediocre April compared to the previous years, at least back to 2016. May has recently been a weak month. But it can also be very green, as shown in 2019 and 2017 and 16. But June is very weak. So the seasonality here is messy because of the lackluster April, which could mean, though, that we didn't get the typical strength of April. Maybe we will get it in May. However, May has been weak as of late, and June is rather weak. And as we saw here to the left, mid-June is more of a time to turn bullish. The seasonality here is a bit messy. I do think that it was a bit more bearish than bullish. I give it a -2 here, but it is messy. And also the technicals with both support and resistance, it's also messy. I don't give cryptos fundamental ratings, so let's go to relative performance. Here are the correlations: 60% with S&P 500, 89% with Bitcoin, and minus 9% with gold. Then we look at the dailies, and we get 78% with S&P 500, 73% with Bitcoin, and 55% with gold. So yeah, what happens with Bitcoin is not really a shocking factor when analyzing another cryptocurrency. So here is Bitcoin on the weeklies. Decent performance here. We have cleared a lot of resistance levels. Okay, something is a bit messy here with the data. Let's do it like this. Okay. From Bitstamp, we have cleared the red 200-week moving average. This is nice. We also have a pattern. We have the inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is rather bullish. Yes, this is good. Bitcoin is, let's go to the dailies. Yeah, nice, very nice. We have cleared a lot of resistance levels. Cooling down a bit now, but I do think that is healthy because it would be a good idea to consolidate the gains a bit and not to get a bit too ambitious, because clearing the blue 100 week is the next level, and it's best to have some energy when you take on these really strong resistance levels. And you see here on RSI, we got rejected from a very expected level. That was an issue back here. Yeah. We have seen that Bitcoin can really get overbought on RSI, but I don't think it's a good idea to goof around with those levels, because the corrections after these kinds of extreme RSIs can be really, really savage. The dailies, yeah, cooling down a bit, basically. That's the story here. Let's look here at the seasonality for Bitcoin. April was okay. May, though, it has a bit of a tendency to be weak. June as well. So, and also looking here to the left, not that promising. Okay. Let's compare then Litecoin with Bitcoin like that, and we do it like this, and Bitcoin USD. Bitstamp was rather good when it came to data, and we are relatively low here on this pair. So Litecoin is underperforming Bitcoin, abnormally underperforming Bitcoin on the dailies. It's a bit noisy, but historically speaking, we usually see more strength from Litecoin. There's something potentially a bit cup and handle-ish about this pattern, but that is always, of course, contingent on the next part of that pattern actually forming. Patterns are best to trade as they develop. So here you can trade a cup and handle, but if you wait until you have a chart where the cup and handle is fully formed, then you did sort of miss the formation of the pattern, because the pattern is then basically completed. Let's look at the seasonality. Litecoin does have a tendency to underperform Bitcoin into later June. April, May, and June, and July in the table view are not favorable to Litecoin in this pair. Not good. Okay, that was an issue. I think I will give the bears a -6 here on relative performance. That wasn't good. So -2.3 here in favor of the bears. We are at 20 weekly moving average support, but we are at 100 daily moving average resistance. And we do see that the seasonality was not that favorable. And vis-a-vis Bitcoin, Litecoin didn't have promising seasonality at all. So the setup here for Litecoin is noisy and primarily bearish. So there might be a shorting opportunity. So what you could do is to maybe have a pairs trade where you are bullish on Bitcoin. Then again, there might be some cooldown in Bitcoin, but at least going forward now, it seems like maybe short Litecoin, bullish Bitcoin could sort of hedge each other a bit. Okay, so we do have some time left. Let's look at some various stocks. Okay, so let's look at this tool here. We do have the screener. Let's go to the stocks. So let's look at the 5-year performance and let's look for some opportunities. So can we see? Okay, so yeah, okay. So here we can see, stocks that are. No, let's go to the 5-year performance like that. Okay, that's down a lot, but let's find some like deep value stocks here. So what I want to see now is big losses over the last 5 years, but maybe the year-to-date performance is showing some fight in it, but not too much fight. Well, FAMI, let's look at FAMI. Maybe there could be something there. FAMI, ordinary shares, it's on the Nasdaq. So this one is down a lot, but yeah, so yeah, this is a bit of a missed opportunity. It was at double bottom, but I don't like to buy after a big winning day. So that I missed the boat on that one. Let's continue down the list. Year-to-date performance. So this one, big loss, but maybe Can is turning around. Let's look at Can. It's also on the Nasdaq. Here are the weeklies definitively seeing the better days, but maybe there's value. If this, there is something here that might indicate horizontal support. Not much data here to the left. May, however, that's the coming month. It's the best month, at least looking at how often. Well, it's one of the best months here for Akana. Looking at the fundamentals, price book low, price to sales, lowish, price earnings a bit higher. Let's look at the price targets. The forecasts. One analyst, that's not much. So that's a bit of an issue. Okay, let's explore a bit more. So Akana, not really the one. Duo, Fanged Network Group, okay. Let's look at that one also on the Nasdaq. Weeklies down big on the dailies. It's a bit on a move. It's a bit annoying because this is also one of those opportunities. Well, it was a missed entry because if you buy now, then you would have missed 8% move. Okay, it's not huge, but I don't like to buy right after an 8% move. But let's explore this one a bit further. Oh, May is not good. Yeah, seasonality is not that promising. Some kind of supportish level on price book and also price to sales. Let's go here to... we don't get any forecasts. Okay, let's explore further. Let's maybe look at... because now we are at like 98% losses and stuff like that. Let's go a bit... let's try to get ourselves above. Okay, so now I have zoomed to those stocks that have lost like 90%. So let's look at year-to-date performances here. So Lu Coffee Limited, LCFI. Let's look at that one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, looking at the weeklies, horizontal support. Looking at the dailies, confirms horizontal support. Interesting. Seasonality, very little data though. May, June, and July in 2022 were not bullish, but that's only 1 year. Looking at price to sales, a very important fundamental ratio. We are very low. Price book also rather low. Price earnings a bit higher. What is this company? It's okay. So it engages in the commercialization of developed technologies, expansion of the technology into local search solutions. The firm focuses on commercializing software as SaaS, online publishing technology platform. Yeah. Okay. It's one of those companies where it takes some time to figure out what they are up to. But that can also create opportunities because then they might struggle to attract investors because it's hard to to know what you are buying, which could create opportunities where like the share price is diverging too much from the fundamentals. But yeah, this one looks interesting. So yeah, that was one of the ways you can sort of look for opportunities. You don't simply want to buy a stock that's down big. You want to buy a stock that's down big, but that recently has shown some signs of turning around, meaning that the low might form. There are automated ways to do it where you look for like patterns, but I've tried a lot of these pattern recognition programs, and they have a tendency to alert you a bit late about the patterns. And they also look for idealized patterns, like they will look for like a very clean like double bottom. But if there is like one candlestick that sort of disturbs the double bottom pattern, then it will sort of categorize it as not a double bottom. But if you look with it through human eyes, then you will easily see the double bottom. But yeah, we have looked at a bunch of stuff now, and I wish you a great week ahead. And go to diamondarm.com to get more intel.